puedes bajar un poco el volumen. Ya está. Si yo me
Hol-
escucho detrás tuyo. Baja un
Hola,
poco.
gente.
Hello.
I was so
Hello.
Hello.
funny. Hello, everyone. We're back to
Yeah.
the stage cafe as we are here every Friday. Me and Claudia's follower, and today you have a guest, a special guest, Ariadna.
Yes, we didn't announce her, but it was last minute call.
Yeah, how was it? So, okay, first of all, today we're gonna talk about the key to develop health human relationships. And Adi came today because Claudia and her spoke yesterday about the same something the
Topic.
same topic. So we felt that was gonna be interesting to have her today with us. Welcome, Adi.
Welcome, Mari.
Hello, and thank you very much to invite me to this program, to this Flow Cafe. I'm so happy and grateful to be with two superwoman and quantic woman, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I want to introduce Ari. Just a quick introduction. Ari has been studying in my course, and we met about a year ago. Um, and so it just happened the other day, yesterday. We were talking about. Well, she just sent me a message telling me about how her relationships in her life overall improved a lot. And so I was like, okay, why don't you come and let's talk about this? So, yes. Yeah, you can just tell us your experience. For example, what happened. Like, tell them because I know already, but you can tell people about what you see, like the improvement in the relationships in your life.
What was the first
Oh,
relationship that you noticed the big change with the
the
methods? Just to
the
explain
first
people,
one,
the first,
the first one,
yeah,
the first day that I meet Claudia.
uh-huh,
Um, I meet her with my couple. And the first date, Claudia tells me, "Okay, do you have any problem that you want to solve?" And I was like, "Yes, I have a really bad relationship with my mom. Since 1 year, I didn't talk with her, and I was like, okay, we will try." And Claudia did me the method, and in 1 minute or more or less, I feel so peaceful, and I feel that a strange feel that I need to talk with my mom. And my mind was like, no, your mom will be angry. Your mom didn't want to talk. Okay. But I feel inside me that I need to talk with her. The next day, I talked with my mom, and she was like an open book. Tell me all the things that she feel. Tell me that she was blocked to express their emotions, her feelings, and it was like, oh my god, I need to learn this method, like, because I was 1 year
Mm.
without speak
talking.
with her. Wow, was amazing, and this was the first. But then I start to have a better relationship with me. I think that is the most important because we all start inside us.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes. So good. Oh,
I was
go ahead.
I was just gonna say that for those who doesn't know what we work, me and Claudia and also Adi, she learned the method, and we work with this quantum method that like it's an energy work, and you bring what's bothering you, and like in less than 5 minutes through 2 minutes we can
Or
resolve
less.
lots of problems, and it's a very actually lots of new techniques and new methods are coming in our
Mm,
days, and we are having access to very different ways to resolve our emotional things like today we're talking about relationship, and this methods works really well with relationships, like with your partner, with your mom, with your dad, with your workers, like in your job, and everything, all type of relationships. So we
yeah.
can do the methods, and in less than 5 minutes the relationship that you had a conflict, it's resolved.
Yeah.
So that's a bit crazy for most of the people.
I mean, Addie, how long did that take? That I remember. I still remember. It was a year ago. You haven't been speaking with your mom for. You haven't been spoke like you haven't literally. You stopped speaking with your mom for like a year, and we resolve it in a couple of minutes,
Less than a minute.
less than a minute, less than a minute.
Less
So,
than a minute.
and yes, and this can be like a bit like people that are listening to us might be like, what are these girls talking about? This crazy, yeah. And anybody can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's keep talking. Tell me more about, like you said, that the first relationship was your mom, and how was
Hmm.
what was the second?
The
Tell me.
second was my boyfriend,
Uh-huh.
and he is Carlos, and he also learned with Claudia the method. We had 1 year learning,
Mm.
and it was awesome because we know that in the relationship is the most difficult mirror because is the mirror that always is telling the truth, no, about you. And it's normal in the couples that um, to have fights, no. And when we start to learn the methods, it was when we fight, he tell me, okay, you have the method, don't fight. And my
Work on it.
mind was like, what? I want to fight. No, it's that the program in the couples to fight and to put the responsibility in the other person that always
Mm-mm-mm.
is in us, inside us,
Yeah.
the feelings that we are experience.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. So we when we really understand when we work on relationships with this that eventually, the old way is to getting into involve in the mind and in the ego and willing to be right oftentimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when we want to be right, the more we want to be right, the more we're gonna experience probably the opposite and all these type of things. And so with this, you have to dissolve this ego. There's no other way.
Yeah, and
Totally.
this yeah, and this ego is it's a construction of like several experiences we are having in life, and but we can also resolve, like it's not only sometimes from these lifetimes, from
Yeah.
our like parents, the society, and all of this misinterpretation that we have about ourselves is and about the other.
Yeah.
And
We
you
can
know
say that because for people that are listening to us, maybe they can be like a bit confused, but we can say like that, as you said, like the ego, the imbalance in the ego, it's built up and it's kind of based on past experiences that are in the unconscious. And these past experiences can be everything that you just mentioned, right? So maybe past experiences that we are not aware with our conscious mind because we have lived them in other lifetimes. Our ancestors lived them, our parents, or we saw that in our parents and all that. Yeah. So,
mhm.
an example, I don't know, for example, um, your dad was rejected by his dad, and that is showing up in your fear of being rejected, and you didn't know about that experience, but it's in the program. It's programming you because it's in your ADN, let's say, DNA, right? Sorry, it's in everything in your energy field.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it
Totally.
reflects. And to be aware of like all these triggers, like for usually for there is a trigger, right? So when you want to be right, like your partner said something that triggers some emotions or some feeling in you, and then you get angry or you get resentment or you know any type of relationship or any type of emotion that it's triggered by a action or a behavior from the other.
Mm-hmm.
There is something inside of you that you need to look
Mm.
and take a step back and breathing and look to yourself, like why, like ask yourself, why am I feeling this, why is this affecting me, why, and if you don't have the method to work on
Yeah,
yourself. Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
really hard. It's really hard.
yeah,
Yeah.
You don't have this type of tools.
yeah. But we can still bring some awareness and observe where we are in lack of.
Mm-hmm.
For example, what is that I'm lacking of that I'm looking into the other person, yes, to fill up my empty cup,
Yes.
for
And this
example.
is another thing because this empty, we have this idea that our partner is gonna be the other half of the orange, for example. I don't
Of
know
the
if there is
orange.
expression, but like in English, but in Portuguese, we usually say, "Oh, I need to find my half." We are not halves. We are like a whole thing.
Mm-mm,
We are
So
mm-mm.
we like
completely.
I'm not I we don't have to look to the other as this person is going to feel this
Fulfill. Yeah,
emptiness that we feel inside. The partner is gonna show where you have to find your own, like how you're gonna fulfill yourself. And it can be a teacher, it can be, the other, everyone is a teacher actually, if you know how
yeah,
to use as a learning experiencing
yeah.
experience this
And also, I
relationship.
think, yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, finish. Yeah, you can keep.
And so I think, yeah, it goes beyond the couple relationship. It goes beyond that. It literally the same principles can be applied in any type of relationships with your parents, with your I don't know, with your boss, even or with your employees. Oftentimes, for example, the same dynamics. There's no separation. The same dynamics will happen everywhere because the program is the same. And so
Yes.
obviously when are in a relationship, you have more probably like opportunities to to get
Mm-hmm.
trigger, like, right? Or if you have kids, for example. um but the same type of dynamics will automatically reproduce in other um, relationships in your life, eventually with friends or with whoever.
I'm completely agree because when I strong my confidence, like in my couple, I strong the confidence in my business. I strong the confidence with my family because if I've had a fight with my family, it's because I don't have the correct self image of me
Mm.
and to know the put the limits with my family and
Mm.
all are connect, all
Everything is
starts
connected.
inside us.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very interesting, like the self-image. It's so important because it's built up on, like, we all create relationships based on images that we create of others and ourselves, and
Mhm.
that's just the ego.
Yeah, but there is a point. Sometimes we are,
Hmm.
for example, I'm gonna say these words, successful in our job, in
Mm.
our work, but we are a disaster with our
Mm.
family.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's not the same, like,
No.
yeah, sometimes like you're gonna reflect in a certain point in your work,
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
but sometimes you have, for example, a nice, you feel okay with your job, you feel like you're doing well, but you're not doing well with your family or your relationships.
Hmm.
Because sometimes people, okay, there is another thing, but people sometimes they put all their energy in the job because they are running away from for their relationship with their family, for
There you
example.
go.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it depends
It's how
sometimes.
you relate to people in general. It doesn't mean that it's not the what you have in like outside, but I think it's more how you relate and how you feel in the relationship with people, right?
Hmm.
Um, I think that is important.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, um, what would you suggest, Ari, for example, if someone wants to have healthy relationships? Is there anything else that you would suggest?
I will suggest that the things that we were talking before to
Mm.
the first of all, the pillar. I don't know if it is
Mhm.
correct, but
Mhm.
the pillar is to know yourself. Because if you want to create a relationship, it doesn't matter the area. Do you want to grow this relationship? Maybe in the work, maybe your business, maybe your family. It doesn't matter. The most important is to know about you, because to create a relationship, you need to grow together.
Yeah.
If you want to grow together with a person, you need to know how to take care about this person. And to know how to take care of the others, you know to how to take care of you first of all.
Yeah.
If you don't know who are you, if you don't know how to love you, how to expand you, how to grow you, you can create relationships.
Yeah.
And
So,
this is the point. This is the best point to start. And when you know yourself, you have more compassion with the others, because for example, I have a lot of fights with my mom. Why? Because I didn't know about me. I didn't be confident. I didn't know who I am. If I didn't know who I am, I'm always saying, okay, you had wrong, you say that, blah 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 blah, outside me. Why? Because you don't want to say, okay, my problem is I don't know who I am.
yeah.
That's the problem,
Mm.
no?
Mm-mm.
I think.
Mm-mm.
And also the law of the mirror is the best way to grow, and it for me it's funny. For me it's a yeah. For me it's funny because when I meet a new person, it was like, okay, this person, what he wants to teach me, no? Like, I need to learn something about this person.
Mhm. Yeah, everyone comes to teach you something. That's the idea,
Mhm.
right? And if we are not open to this, we're just gonna fight and just like fight and against, and I mean, there's no point. But every situation is there to make us learn something about ourselves and others too.
Yeah, this situation, even if this relationship is gonna show you self love,
Mm.
showing that you don't love yourself, and when you perceive that you don't love yourself through the action of the other, how the other relates to you, it's showing how you
Mhm.
relate to yourself. It
Mhm.
can be, like making you feel not good enough. For example, if someone makes you feel like that,
Yeah.
it's a sign. Okay, I don't feel like that inside of me, for
Hmm.
example.
Hmm.
But of course, sometimes we meet people, we meet like a lot of people, right? And some people are showing us that doesn't mean that it's going to be always the same. The person that is or the other person is going to show you if you work like, okay, I'm good enough, and there is another person coming and say and act in a way that's trying to say that you're not good enough. But if you have that build up inside of it is of inside of yourself, that you are good enough, you know how you're going to act in that situation. That doesn't mean that you're not going to meet people that's going to make you feel that way, or that will think or act in a way that wants to make you feel. So the learn process is going to be other. So do you get me?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Yeah, the process of learning is going to be another level. It
Yeah,
can be almost the same situation, but you are another person. So
yeah.
you're going to learn about the situation is something else.
Hmm. It's
You know,
gonna
like
transform you. Yeah, if you're ready for that. If you're not ready for that, it's gonna be another person showing you the same thing,
the
and
same
then
thing.
another
Yeah,
one,
but I'm saying
and
like
then
the next
another one.
level. About like, so yeah,
Until you're tired.
It's
It's
funny
rather.
when you start to think in your boyfriend, your first boyfriend, no? I think in this, and it's so funny.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And so we need to develop this self awareness to transform, and conflicts are not going to be conflicts anymore. That's the
This
thing.
is the magic and the
That's a
present.
magic. Yes, in all any type of relationship, when you bring that type of understanding, the conflicts are not conflict. You don't see conflicts as conflicts anymore,
Hmm.
all right? And so that's powerful. That's powerful. Obviously, with energetic, with this method, everything is easier.
for
More
sure.
easy.
It's another level, right? But
Yeah, it's
literally,
amazing how you change instantly these emotions and these
yeah,
behaviors that we have.
yeah,
Yeah,
Some,
and also you you think, okay, when you do the methods, maybe it's not yours. It's
hmm,
about your ancestors or your, I don't know,
and
and
that is
you are creating this, and you didn't know about
yeah.
where it is coming.
You didn't know, and we cannot know it because we just know what we perceive.
Totally.
So we are just perceiving with our five senses just a small spectrum of all the frequencies. So we are not seeing the whole light that exists, or the whole sound that exists, or the whole. We're just perceiving a very small part. So we think we know everything, and we create movies about the reality that are not true. And so once you understand that, and that, I think the method helps you to understand that
Hmm.
we don't know anything, and so you cannot take any conclusion, get to any conclusion, like, because we don't know.
because of our perspective is
Yeah,
limited.
it's very
Hmm.
Sometimes,
limited.
yeah,
We just create movies of what we see in our minds, but those are just stories.
these
Better
stories.
than Hollywood.
Sorry, what did you say, Ari?
The story is better than the Hollywood
Oh
films.
yeah.
Yeah, they are part of our um collective
Yeah.
mind also, like the Hollywood movies.
But
The
it's
romance idea, the idea
yeah,
of
yeah,
romance, for example, we
yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah, this was a really cool conversation. And I guess, so to recap, if you want to have healthy relationships with your boss, or with your employees, with your family, with everyone, you need to know how to transform those things that you don't like, and use a mirror. Right.
Know yourself. The mirror is really important for you to get to know yourself.
Yeah, once you know yourself, you're free of pain. That's the thing.
Yeah, but life is always showing you.
Mm.
Life, it's like it's made of relationships,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So you go out and you go in, and then you go out and you go in. So this all
Mhm.
this balance, this thing, like, oh, people, the mirror thing, like people show
Mm.
you something, you need to look, and then you look inside and you work on that, and then that's going to go back to the outside, and then you
Yeah.
create new relationships and new ways to relate with the world.
Yeah. And that is so important what you said.
Yeah.
Like you go outside, you get triggered. And so the
Mm,
important thing is not instantly reacting, is taking that trigger, looking at that, looking at the mirror, see what do I have? Why am I what am I lacking in that is making me feel this way? You become aware of that, you transform it, and then you go out again. The conflict is not going to be conflict anymore if you see the truth in yourself, because the truth set you free.
mm-hmm,
So that's the process.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
And also, we were talking about, like, this is we're talking about the relationship and how we grow and develop healthy relationships. And once these relationships, they get to the level, like, for example, we three here, like, we kind of think um, are aligned with our beliefs, and like the way you think about life, and like we are having these moments, and then we are creating this, information together. We're passing this information
Hmm.
together,
Yeah.
to other people. We are expanding together. And I have my circle of people that I'm accessing. Claudia has hers, and Adi has hers, and then we are like, also, once we have this alliance, and like, this our polarities and our triggers and our things, like, we create a very potent um energy and nucleo of, like, community, like this idea of community, like how people, when they get together, the power that people have when they are aligned, and when
Yeah.
they create together also,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, the relationships also are very powerful when you have this.
Yeah, you have to raise the consciousness. I guess this is what you bring in, right? So raising the consciousness,
Mhm.
and the more you raise the consciousness, there's less pain you're gonna experience.
Yeah. Yes.
Probably,
Right.
right? Because you live more in the present, in your presence, than in the mind that is bringing the noise and the pain.
Yes. And how to raise this frequency.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's another have another event that we can talk about, how important it is to raise our frequency, and how that affects our life and our relationships.
Everything.
Do grounding every day.
Grounding every day.
Grounding, yes.
Go and watch the sunrise every day. Get into the
Yeah.
seawater or do whatever, everything. Yeah, raise your frequency, go into nature, meditate.
Every trigger, do the
Yeah.
method. Bye bye, angry.
Yes, 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 exactly. And
Yeah, the habit, yeah, they have a lot of heavy influence in how we feel
the
and how we
habits,
deal.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and eventually how vulnerable you are to certain type of situations, obviously. So the higher your frequency is, the less vulnerable you are. And also, I think there's something that people need to be aware when we talk about energy, and because everything is energy, as we know, we need to understand that we attract depending on our imbalances. And so you need to balance all the the ego out in order to attract something that someone that is more balanced, either in your business or in your relationships, because you just attract the people that will make you learn how to balance yourself. So right,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, totally right.
Hmm.
In I think the my process in the relationship with my couples, and at the beginning I was like, oh, I feel like a victim, no, like, oh, what a man, he's so bad, blah blah blah. And now I see and observe the process, and I was okay. I in this moment I needed this person to know that I didn't love myself, and I didn't respect myself, and I didn't put limits in my relationships. And now, maybe before I was hungry, or I hate this boy, but now I was like, wow, I'm totally agree to meet him, because he teach me how to love me.
Mm-mm.
And this a totally different perspective, and
Yeah,
totally different experience in your life, no.
yeah, that's the thing. Wow. So someone wants to talk, Byron. Let's allow him to talk. Are we girls? Yeah.
Yes.
Let me see. So I'm gonna put him. Let me tell. Okay. Hello.
Hello. I would just like to say I came in late and I apologize for that, but I think it was Giselle when you said the truth will set you free, and we're on the subject of developing healthy human relationships. That is so true, no matter if it's business, personal relationships, or whatever. As long as you can speak your truth, everything else will be fall into place. And that's all I had to say.
I think I didn't get it, but I think the about the truth was Claudia who said that, right? Or
Yeah,
Yes,
but yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that was nice. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Nice, nice, nice. All right.
Does anyone want to say to have a question or do want to contribute and share some thoughts or your insights about what we're talking here?
Same
You're
is
open.
clapping his hands. I see. Same. Thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you for coming. I think we can be done, right? Thank you. So yeah, it was a really interesting conversation. Thank you, Ari, for coming.
Thank you, girls, to invite me for in this space. It was awesome.
Thank you, Adi. It was really nice your experience
Yeah,
with. It's very important for us to bring people who has experience with this method and talk about
yeah.
it's changing their lives
Hmm.
as it's changing our lives.
Mm-mm. Yeah, yeah.
Completely. A new life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have to explain people. I think that is just the things that we can tell about this method can be really shocking, because if we start to explain everything, that like all the results that we are having with ourselves, with others, it can be even shocking. I think I'm not telling everything because sometimes people are not ready to hear everything, because it completely destroys everything that we have learned so far, or that we thought we knew. Um, and so obviously, you know, we are just telling a little bit about it because we understand that it can be really overwhelming. Well, not overwhelming, but like shocking, literally, right? Because like from the
And
physical body
powerful.
to everything changes quickly. Yes, and everything is going to change quickly, even in the outside, obviously, because we know that there are a lot of changes happening, and they're probably going to we haven't seen anything so far in terms of technology, for example, or how the world is going to change. But the same in the same way, we also have internal technology that is going as quick as that, or even quicker, of the external technology, and um, and so it's available for.
Which is also a reflection of what's happening, what
Mm,
happen inside
mm,
of us.
mm-mm.
So
For
we,
those who are
yeah,
ready,
exactly.
we here. Yes. So get in touch.
So if you guys have any problems, any relationship problems, all type of problems, like with a partner, with a workers and family, just get in touch with us. I have several clients who had problems with
Mm,
their family members. For example, I had a client who had a
mm,
problem with her dad, and in one session, she said she told me now like that the relationship with her dad changed completely.
right.
He turned into a completely different person in only one session that we had. And she was like, 1 week passed, 2 week passed, and then she was just like, girl, what did you do? My dad changed with me. He became another human being. Like it's very powerful, and
Well,
everyone needs to get in touch with this kind of
Hmm.
new
yeah.
technologies that we are accessing in our days.
Yes.
And
Ali, do you wanna tell what happened with Carlos' dad? I don't know if we can say that or not. Or maybe maybe it's
Yes,
private.
I was thinking this
Okay.
when Giselle was talking,
Yeah.
because was yesterday, and uh, her dad, his dad, was with depression, and always feel like sad, and in these emotions. And yesterday, he and I, we were working with methods, and was awesome. Was awesome because the he starts the dad of Carlos. He starts to share, to be more present, to be more lovely, to be more happy. It was
Wow,
like, what the
happier.
fuck? It seems like he take a drug. Like, wow, the change, the
Yeah.
impact, the change that
Did you work
in
on him like with him knowing it, or just you work on how you felt
without
about
without
him? Okay, how you
without
felt about him, you
he
just
he
change your
didn't
emotions. Yeah.
he didn't he didn't believe in this
Mm.
type of
Yeah. So you see,
method.
even when
But
people
he
don't
did.
believe in it,
And
it works. So it's not a placebo effect. There's no placebo effect here. I have worked with people in the hospitals. They don't even know me because like the family, they contact me to work on them, and they're changed. So there's no placebo effect here. That's the thing. That's the thing.
talking about the healthy part, right? Like if
Even
someone, yeah, for example,
anything, yeah,
go through a surgery or is sick,
hmm,
we can
even
also work on with this technique.
yeah,
Like
and
lower back pain the other day, I was like with a lower back pain, and I worked in like I was on a way to somewhere in a car, and I just worked on myself, and then I was like, whoop, okay, I'm okay again.
yeah, or for example, I work on my mom's relationship with the carer of my dad, and so many times I resolve all the conflicts without my mom even knowing it, and all of a sudden they apologize to each other, and it's like, "Pff, man, what would that be like without the method? She wouldn't, like, she probably would be gone already because they had a lot of conflicts. So it's
Yeah.
just changes completely. All right.
And also, there's just gonna come another thing in my mind. A friend of mine actually, he's passing through a very hard moment with his family. His dad is very sick, and his mom is also like in a
Mm.
age that's, and then he's hanging. He's like taking care of everything, and he was very depressed. you know, he wasn't like, he was depressed. So we did a session, and after the session, he said, "Wow, this is the first day that my day, in during the day, I felt happy again." And I was like, "Wow!" Even like when you have like anxiety, depression, and burnout, all this type of things that we are most of the people are having today.
Yeah.
Like workaholics and overwhelmed with a lot of work, we can work with this technique, and we have results, amazing results.
Yeah.
So guys, get in touch with us if you are interested. Send a text, a message. And also, let me I remember something that Claudia is going to have an event this weekend. Are you still having inviting people to
Oh yeah, but it's in
um
Spanish, so I don't know if people would. Uh,
oh, okay,
yeah,
okay, sorry.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
in Spanish. It's kind of
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yes. Anyways, well, I launched the masterclass last week. It's still available if anybody wants the recording where we explain all these things.
Hmm.
But yes, so I guess we're done, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
everyone, for
everyone.
coming.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Adi. And
Thank you,
yeah,
Addie.
Thank
see
you,
you
girls.
next week.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, my friend.
Bye
Bye bye. See you.
Bye.
bye.